Hello everyone, welcome back to another manga reading log with me, your host, Manga Boy. I've read quite a bit of manga, you can probably see today. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, wait, subtract the 7, so 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. So 19 volumes I read. Kind of a cheat because I didn't post anything last week. The reason I didn't post anything last week is because I got sick. I pretty much only read these. And then I read all of 20th Century Boy this week. And the reason why I read that was because A, 21st Century Boy came out, and B, it's been on my pile forever to read. But I wanted to wait until, I got the last one to read it. I have had it for a while, and I wanted to finish Pokemon first, and so then I finally decided to read it. I'm not going to show you guys anything in these, because it is going to be kind of spoiler-y. But essentially, these kids are, living their life as kids, and then all of a sudden, when they are adults, they realize that the symbol that they used to use when they were kids is being used by some religious group, which is, totally weird. And so they're like, well, that means it must be one of our friends that's doing this. The guy calls himself Friend. And so they're trying to figure out who this guy is before he causes the apocalypse or the end of the world. So it's pretty neat, very cool, pretty unbelievable. But it's a really good sci-fi. I'm a big fan of sci-fi manga, so I really like this one. The ending is totally kind of not super great. It's okay. It's an okay ending. But it's really the whole story up to the ending that's so good. It's really good, gripping. It's hard to stop reading this. So I'm glad that I was able to read this, not when it was coming out each month or week, whenever it was. But something that I did notice that's kind of weird. You see how it says Gutala and Sudalala. In the other volumes, at least the ones that I have, it says Gutarara and Sudarara. So I know that sometimes, in Japan, L's and R's are, pretty similar, so they get mixed over in translation. But I'm like, but why would it be so consistent through the 20th Century Boys? But then on this 21st Century Boy Omnibus, which is the last one, is it that they switched it out of nowhere? I was like, what? Why would you wait till now? So I'm just going to real quick show you guys the covers of the series. That's pretty much the most I can do without spoiling it. I really like this one. This one's probably my favorite cover. If you line the spines up, it does make an image. It's a giant tower. This guy's name is Chuck Mangione. I think that's funny because it's a country singer, but he's not a country singer in it. It just is a funny musical coincidence. And those are the covers right there. So that's pretty neat. I was very happy to finally finish an Urasawa work like this. I've read Monster, but I feel like this is much longer than Monster. And I liked it more than Monster because I like sci-fi a little bit more. So yeah, that's just my opinion on it. I'm sure everybody has their own. Okay, I also read Opart's Hunters 3 through 6. This actually ends up finishing up the first major arc, or arcs. They go through a training arc. They find some very important characters. A Jiraiya character, a Tsunade character. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I definitely still recommend reading this if you were ever a fan of Naruto. Again, it is by Naruto's twin. The creator of Naruto's twin brother. It's pretty cool to see them have to fight such a massive threat, or at least what seems like a massive threat. This dog, his name is Jajamaru, and they have to catch him. It kind of reminds me of Bubbles, like catching Bubbles. The dog just walks around saying, yep. He's funny. Look, he poops right in front of this boy, makes the boy drop a rope. I like, pretty good. But yeah, I really enjoyed this arc. That was pretty cool, interesting arc. Satan, of course, shows up again in it. And he makes this sketchy deal. It reminded me, actually, of Jujutsu Kaisen, that deal, because I forgot that even happened in this manga. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that happened in JJK. And so that was pretty cool. You can see we also go through the Cross's origins, which is nice in Volume 6. Volume 6 also ends the first arc, or first 2 arcs, I suppose. Gets everything kind of set up for the next one. So 1 through 6 is probably a good trial period. If you don't like it through 1 through 6, I would say it's probably not for you. But 1 through 6 kind of wrap things up nicely, if that's what you were interested in just checking out. I also read Noragami Volume 13. This one kind of continues the, what Father's up to. And I thought this one was a sick volume. Father, like, ends up going through this hospital and, like, trying to shift all the blame on Hiyori's, family. And so I was like, wow, pretty crazy. But, like, Hiyori also kind of goes through some stuff. So this was a good volume. I need to get more Noragami. It's, like, really annoying me that I only have up to 13. But that's the way it is. Ragna Crimson was pretty cool, too. I didn't understand what Ragna was holding here, or rather Crimson was holding here. Turns out it's like a gun, a semi-automatic. And so I was like, holy shit. So they load up with silver bullets made from Ragna. I was like, damn, that's so sick. But they had a lot of cool stuff in this one. And like a tornado dragon. If you guys had any interest in picking this up, like I said before, I would definitely recommend picking it up. A lot of great action in it. Killing dragons. I like the story. Pretty much he comes from the future to warn his past self that, like, his teacher's gonna die, so he gives him all of his strength that he gained in the future to stop it from happening in the past. So that was an interesting read. Ragnar Crimson was very good in my opinion. Lastly, I read Heaven's Design Team. This is such a weird manga. I learned so much about animals in this. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I didn't know this could do that. There's these little bios here, and the whole plot, see of the animals, the whole plot is how did God's angels decide to make these animals? Because God was too busy to make them, so he had the angels design them. And so it goes through the process of why certain things work with other animals and not, this animal. So it's actually a super interesting read. I was not really expecting that. It's pretty funny, but it's also like very informative. I was like, wow, that's really neat. So I actually enjoyed this one quite a bit. I'm probably gonna get more. I think I already got more from the Steam. Well, I'm thinking about video games. From the Right Stuff birthday sale. Definitely recommend picking this up if it comes back on sale, through again at the end, if you have any interest in it. There's also an anime to it, apparently. But yeah, this is an interesting read. This one girl, like, has the measurements of, like, every animal. She, like, has one of them where she makes, like, the biggest penis in it. It's like, wow. It's an acorn barnacle, apparently, right here. So there's a lot of weird dick jokes in here. Definitely funny, though. Definitely funny. Recommend reading. But yeah, that's what I read this past 2 weeks. Please tell me what you guys read in the comments below. If you have any interesting reads, I definitely want to know about them. And did you like any of these? Are you going to pick any of these up? Let me know that in the comments too. But otherwise, have a good rest of the day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye!